Am I wrong for not inviting my sister to my wedding? I, 27 female, have been married to my husband Jay for over 10 years. We got married 6 years ago, but only did it through the court and we never had a wedding. We always said later, but timing was not on our side. Well, it finally is. We decided to have our wedding ceremony and reception later this year and invite our close friends and family. We were doing our guest list and decided that my older sister would not be invited. She has been a toxic person in my life since I can remember. When I started dating Jay, she used to tell him that he could do so much better than me. I've never been someone that wears a lot of makeup, and Jay has always known this. She used to tell me that he was going to leave me because I didn't take care of myself. I suffer from an eating disorder and have been impatient. She told Jay that I was crazy and shouldn't be dealing with me and should just leave me. When I was at said impatient, she tried to use me to get an excuse for her job so she wouldn't have to do something she didn't want to, all under the pretense of helping with our girls. This was my second day there. When I told her I couldn't, she called me selfish and why couldn't I do this for her, and didn't reach out for the 2 months I was in there, and just so much more. As the years have gone by, Jay has stood up for me time and time again and doesn't let her run over me. This is something I've had trouble with. She hates this. She mentioned one time that he shouldn't get involved in sister matters. We had a traumatic childhood, so I felt like we just had to be close. I think it's part of why I've had such a hard time cutting her off. Anyways, last Thanksgiving we got into a fight. Jay and I tried to have a civilized conversation and put all differences aside and move forward. It did not go well and she played victim at all times. Jay and I knew we tried. She brushed it under the rug and a few days later was back to normal. After that, a month later, Jay and I had to leave for 2 months for a training and I stayed alone with my 2 girls. She made all these promises of coming to visit us and keep us company, and so did her husband. They ended up coming to our state and then kept making up excuses as to why they couldn't come. She didn't talk to me until she was back to the state she lives in. I was annoyed because they also promised my 6-year-old and then just left her hanging. After they went back, she texted twice and I briefly answered once since I was annoyed and honestly didn't want to get into a fight. A week and a half after the text, the girls and I got into a car accident. Car was totaled and it wasn't pretty. Thankfully, the girls had minor injuries. She never reached out, never cared. My mom and younger sister came to help and called her in FaceTime and she gave me an attitude. It was like something clicked and I was just done. She's a negative and toxic person for me, blood related or not. Obviously, I told my family she will not be invited and they know everything, but they still want me to be the bigger person because she's your sister no matter what, and just be the bigger person again. I've stood my ground, but am I the asshole? Update: we had the wedding this weekend and it was everything we could have wished for and more. We were so happy to finally have this day and share it with our loved ones. These past few months I've been in therapy to deal with just different things, and obviously the topic of my family has come up. My sister and I actually had a talk about a month and a half ago, just her and I. She apologized for a lot of things which she has never done before, so I appreciated that. We also realized that this was the first time we actually sat down to talk, just her and I. No one else involved. My mom would usually want to be there and then meddle, then send messages back and forth, but it was never what me and my sister said. We realized my mom had a lot to do with our relationship and how it went. She knew some of her actions were toxic, and that's when she apologized about it and we had a genuine talk about it. Afterwards, we talked at least weekly and you could feel the difference now that we had talked about everything. She ended up coming to the wedding and there was no drama at all. We really had the best time and everyone got along perfectly. Aww! Thank you for all the support. Aw, that's so sweet! Best update ever! Am I wrong for refusing to help/support my dad's pregnant stepdaughter? I am a 21 female college student. My dad's stepdaughter is 18, turning 19 soon, and expecting a baby. She has no idea who the father is, and she's been left behind by her friends who are all in college after graduating last year. She never went and stayed living with my dad and her mom. Now she's pregnant, doesn't have a job, and isn't in school, but she's planning to go now. Which, I don't know. I don't believe that, but I know my dad wants to. I transferred and I now live about an hour away from my dad. Because I'm so much closer now, he wants me to help out with his stepdaughter, give her a place to stay some nights so she can get away from their house, maybe be a sister for her, offer to be an aunt to the baby. She and I have never gotten along, and I personally think she's a spoiled brat and I do not consider her family, even though by marriage she is. But we never treated each other like sisters and have never counted each other as such. She regrets that now. She told me as much. She realizes I have people in my life who would be there for me in a heartbeat, which she doesn't have outside her mom and my dad. I told my dad I wasn't interested, that I am happy with my life the way it is and I don't trust her to follow through, nor do I care enough about her to reach out. It's the honest truth. I don't care if she does try or not. She's not important to me. It upset him because he wants more for her. He wants me to want this so badly, but she wasn't part of my life for as long as she was his. I was 15 when I moved in with him after my mom died, and before that I saw him a few weeks of the year. My dad was upset but not angry. His wife, however, thinks I'm a bad egg, to quote her. She said family helps each other. Wouldn't I want to help her? The answer to that is no, because I've seen what her help leads to. Do I not long for a sister that I never otherwise had? All this stuff. Then she talks about how the baby is special and important and I should cherish her. She told me only bad eggs refuse to help. What are you, a chicken? I might be wrong now, but I consider that her way of calling me an asshole, and I only entertained that idea because my dad is her. So, am I the asshole?
I'm in love with my gym bro. I, male 22, fell in love with my gym bro, male 24.
Gay rights.
Problem being, I thought I was straight. This all started a few months ago. I noticed this guy at my gym and I knew something was immediately off. I was like nervous to even look at him, but I decided to get rid of that nervousness and just talk to him. He was actually really nice and funny and we quickly became buddies. Then, about 2 weeks later, my girlfriend broke up with me. I told him that and we had a heart-to-heart where he casually came out as gay. But that initial offness that I felt when I first saw him didn't go away. And I quickly started to piece together that it was the same feeling I get when I look at a really pretty girl. Over the months, it's been increasingly hard to be near him because he's just so gorgeous, I guess. Whenever I go to sleep, I just imagine him there snuggled up to me. I just want to text him all the time. I just want to kiss him so bad. I guess this is me coming out as bi, ... I met a beautiful guy at the gym and we became best friends. I love his personality. He makes me laugh nonstop. And not gonna lie, he's mad thick. I want to ask him out so bad.
Why not? I mean, like, that's the thing, like, gender, sexuality, all these things are fluid. It's a sliding scale. You can be in a hetero relationship and then go into a gay relationship. Like, you can identify with something for some period and some other thing for whatever. Like, nothing is black and white. Like, again, I really think pansexuality or like no sexuality should be the default sexuality. Same with like gender fluidity. Like, you should be able to move around and test and experiment. If you haven't kissed a man, why not kiss a man and see if you like it? And if you don't like, it's the same thing. Like,
just like test driving a car.
Yeah.
Try it all out.
Everybody's gay.
So we do have some updates. Yes. Update 1. At the gym right now, we're going to do our sets. And when we leave, I'm going to walk him to his car and tell him, thanks for the courage, everyone.
Yay.
Update 2. I'm fucking crying in my car right now. Holy shit. He said yes.
Yay!
That's so cute. So I walked him to his car and told him. And bruh, the way I couldn't speak, laughing my ass off, I was so nervous. But basically, he said he kind of thought I was into him cause, quote, I can only catch you respectfully staring at my butt so many times before it's a little sus. But I told him that I'm bi and we're going on a date Friday. But like, bruh, he looked so flustered and cute when I told him. He had the prettiest smile. And for the people saying stuff about my vocab and texting, I'm a history major, not smart.
Me too.
My vocab consists of, I guess, like, I don't know, bruh and fucking.
I get this guy.
But anyways, I guess we're a little bit more than just gym bros now. Anyways, I'm fucking shaking. I actually did it. Chills. Bruh, I love him so much. So fucking much. Thank you for the support.
That's so great. The BB of Reddit.
So cute. I know.
Can destroy you and it can also make you.
I, 35 male, have been with my partner, female 30, for 8 years. As of tomorrow, she is 5 months pregnant with our first. I got this 4-day, 3-night trip that isn't much of a trip at all, as it's only 40 minutes from our house. It is a glamping tent that she has wanted to stay in for some time. Minutes from her work, she planned to still go doing morning care 6:30 to 9 a.m. and Arvo care 3 to 6:30 p.m., splitting the shift instead of the whole day. I put in 4 days leave. So after my last shift, we were leaving the next day and I called her and told her that I wanted to get some drinks on the way home and she went silent. I asked what was wrong and she said that this trip is important to me. Please don't do this to me. I got a couple bottles of drinks since I figured that I could spend the next few days recovering on our trip. I got blind drunk and then went off for a walk to the pub where I drank more. Around 5 a.m. I must have called her because she picked me up. I woke up later that day around 4ish and she was gone. Her bag was gone. The food she packed for us was gone. When I called her, she said that she's on our trip and wants to be alone, that all she asked is for me not to drink and that she isn't going to spend the next few days dealing with me and my moodiness. I just wanted to have a bit of a piss up since I don't have to worry about going into work. I work hard 6 days a week and I feel like I should be allowed to have a drink when I'm starting a holiday. I'm angry that she went on the trip that I paid for and is acting like me having a few drinks makes me an asshole. I think her going on our trip alone and not even trying to wake me up so we could both go makes her the asshole. What do you think? Am I the asshole or is she?
Am I the asshole for expecting my girlfriend to pay for her stay at my family's cabin? My grandparents own a big cabin where every generation after them enjoyed annual family vacations. Due to the cabin's age, there's constant maintenance that needs to be done. Every time we replaced, fixed, or repaired something, there's another thing that needs fixing. We also started renovating the cabin as the interior has also become quite dated. The rule is every person from the age of 20 years old needs to pay an annual fee to be able to stay at the cabin. The fee varies, and I've happily paid this fee ever since the rule was implemented. I decided to invite my girlfriend. Am I the asshole for expecting my girlfriend to pay her stay at my family's cabin? So everyone 20 years old and up needs to pay an annual fee. I decided to invite my girlfriend. She's ecstatic about the idea of meeting my extended family and going to the cabin. She's also very curious about it after hearing me talk about it a lot. Naturally, I sat her down and told her about the rule and how she needed to pay as everyone else paid. This fee is around $200 to $400 depending on how many people use the cabin. This is due to a big roof leak and some pretty substantial water damage. This upset her and we argued, and she's saying she'll make other plans without me this summer.